We're going through this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And we know it's a combined knowledge about how to become successful from some of the greatest minds in the 20th century. And it's a result of nearly 30 years of research by Napoleon Hill interviewing these great men. And I've been playing just one person's brief comments on Think and Grow Rich, Earl Nightingale, okay, as he introduces the book by Napoleon Hill. It's only very brief. We really need to read the book. But, you know, as I prepared this, I note two important points he made right at the start. First of all, have a notebook handy and make notes as I go along, because I want to listen to this message, you know, for my personal learning, my personal application, my personal success, not just to share with you. You know, I want success myself, and as we learn and apply this together, you know, hopefully we will see some of the truth, and we can teach other people these truths. So take notes, especially today, because this, you may say, this is a very familiar topic, you know, and most importantly, ask yourself how you can apply some of these things that you're going to listen to today. Okay. So Napoleon Hill wrote 13 proven steps to riches, where riches are whatever you happen to want. Okay. Today, he talks about the 8th principle. Earl Nightingale talks about the 8th principle, persistence. So listen to this recording.
The 8th principle, persistence. Napoleon Hill defines persistence as the power of will. Willpower and desire, when properly combined, make an irresistible pair. Persistence to an individual is what carbon is to steel. In uncounted thousands of cases, persistence has stood as the difference between success and failure. It is this quality more than any other that keeps the majority from great accomplishment. They'll try a thing, but as soon as the going gets tough, they fold. Experience with thousands of people has proved that lack of persistence is a weakness common to the majority of men. It is a weakness which may be overcome by effort. If you're to accomplish the desire you've set for yourself, you must form the habit of persistence. Things will get dark. It will seem as though there's no longer any reason to continue. Everything in you will tell you to give up, to quit trying. And it's right here that the men are separated from the boys. It's right here that if you'll go that extra mile and keep going, that the skies will clear, and you'll begin to see the first signs of the abundance that is to be yours because you had the courage to persist. With persistence will come success. Persistence is a state of mind. Therefore, it can be cultivated. Like all states of mind, persistence is based upon definite causes, among them these. 1, definiteness of purpose, knowing what you want. 2, desire. 3, self-reliance. 4, definiteness of plans. 5, accurate knowledge, knowing that your plan is sound. 6, cooperation. Sympathy, understanding, and harmonious cooperation with others tend to develop persistence. 7, willpower. 8, habit. Persistence is the direct result of habit.
Okay, so here's what Earl Nightingale said, but there's more to it in this chapter. Okay, but I just want to touch on a few points today. So the 8th principle is persistence. When you think of the word persistent, what other P word immediately comes to your mind? For many of us, persistence is associated with pain or with pruning. You know, that's where you get the self-development. But today, I want you to see how persistence is a promise to success. So the P word is promise, okay? Persistence is actually a promise to success. First of all, let's relate this to the 4 crucial characteristics of a leader, otherwise called the 4 crucial characteristics of success. The first is compelling desire. Persistence stems from the first principle in Think and Grow Rich, okay, which is, first principle we looked at was desire, okay, desire, compelling desire, okay, same thing. The second crucial characteristic is solid belief. Persistence is the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. When you do it enough, you will get the results, and then that's where the belief gets stronger. Okay, so you can see how the four crucial characteristics, very simple characteristics, are actually in the success formula of many people. Now, there is no substitute for persistence. Okay, it cannot be supplanted. It cannot be replaced by any other quality. So this is not another tip. This is the essential key to quality to success. Earlier, when we studied George Leonard's book on mastery, so you remember Jeff Watts, who also had a commentary on the book Mastery. He explained that the plateau forces the cultivation of what he calls the 4 P's: practice, patience, persistence, and perseverance. Practice is practice, okay, repetition. Okay. Patience is cultivated while you are practicing, because it doesn't come immediately. Persistence is what makes you get up every day to do the practice. Okay. So in order to practice every day, if it's yoga, you need persistence. Okay. You get up, okay, despite being muscle ache or tired. Okay. And perseverance is doing this day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year after year. Okay. So just a quick review on that. You can go back and listen to the commentary on mastery. Okay. So I want to talk a bit here about habit. Okay. Earl Nightingale ended with this thing called habit. Okay. And those who have cultivated the habit of persistence seem to enjoy insurance against failure. Okay. So you are going to fail, but it's whether failure keeps you down or you pick up against failure. And imagine if you had an insurance policy against failure, and that is the habit of persistence. Okay. No matter how many times they are defeated, they finally arrive at the top of the ladder, Napoleon Hill says. Okay. Those of you in network marketing, just reflect on your sure and steady transformation. Notice how much more resilient you are as a complete person because of the rejections you have encountered on a regular basis. Persistence for you has become a habit. And anything that's a habit is no longer so painful. Okay. But I think the pain is making the decision, shall I do this? Shall I not do this? But when it becomes a habit, you just do it irrespective of how you feel. Okay. And that's very, very powerful, because every time you do it, the slight edge of philosophy comes in, compound effect comes in, and it becomes better until it becomes a habit. And Napoleon Hill talks about 4 simple steps which lead to the habit of persistence. Okay. And I'm just reviewing what we have shared earlier. So these 4 steps. Number 1, a definite purpose. Okay, a definite purpose backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. So that's the desire, and it's a burning desire. Okay. Number 2, a definite plan expressed in continuous action. So it's not just a plan that's formulated, but a plan that's actually implemented. Number 3, a mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, including negative suggestions of relatives, friends, and acquaintances. Okay, a mind closely tight against all negative and discouraging influences. And number 4, a friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage you to follow through with both your plan and your purpose. So these are 4 simple steps which lead to the habit of persistence. Then he also talks about this hidden guide. Okay. And he says sometimes it appears that there is a hidden guide whose duty is to test men through all sorts of discouraging experiences. Those who pick themselves up after defeat and keep trying, they arrive. And the world cries, "Bravo, I knew you could do it." The hidden guide lets no one enjoy great achievement without passing the persistence test. Those who can't take it simply don't make the grade. Those who can take it are bountifully rewarded for their persistence. They receive as their compensation whatever goal they are pursuing. And I would add to that, and in fact, he says that is not all. They receive something infinitely more important than material compensation, the knowledge that every failure brings with it the seed of an equivalent advantage. Okay. So there is a purpose for failure. There's a purpose for a bad experience. Okay. And those of you who've been through life and reflected on life, that is the reason why we say don't look at a cup half empty, look at a cup half full. Look at possibilities that come from problems. Okay, this whole idea of opportunity to crisis. Okay. And that's in our success mantra: intention plus action plus grace. And grace doesn't mean immediate goal straight away. No, there is this rough part that you have to go through that develops you to be a person who's empathetic, who can help other people going through the same thing, the same sun, the same rain, the same night, the same day.